Good evening, our dear listener, and welcome to Explorer Online Radio. Reading you the news at 9 is Nicholas Devandeke. The headlines: President commences 4-day tour in Greater Masaka. Parliament directs Education Minister on expired degrees. UPDF hands over private Sabiti's bodies to family and 2 arrested over child trafficking. Here is the news in detail. President Museveni has today embarked on his 4-day tour in Greater Masaka sub-region for his continued wealth creation drive, with emphasis on shared prosperity and tracking government projects, including the parish development model. President has pledged a tractor and solar-powered water pumps for irrigation to improve production towards Naluwale coffee farmers, and also contributed 100 million shillings towards the farmers' circle. President further urged all wealth creators, farmers, fishermen and others in the parish to join parish circles. The president was welcomed by State Minister for Microfinance and Small Enterprises, Honorable Haruna Kasolo Cheune in Kavira Sub-County, Chotera District. And in Parliament, Deputy Speaker Thomas Tayebwa, during today's plenary sitting, has directed the Minister of Education and Sports to present a statement on the issue of expired programs in different universities. This is in response to concerns about universities offering courses that are considered expired. He highlighted the rejection of a graduate program application by the University of Bristol due to an expired undergraduate degree from Makerere University, which underscored the urgency of addressing the issue. In his speech, he said, "I have taken time off to consult a few stakeholders from National Council for Higher Education, Ministry and universities, and it is an issue that needs to be given serious attention. We want to get a real picture of what is happening, and it is very critical for the Minister of Education tomorrow to bring a statement on this issue, updating the country about the situation." Away from that, the Ministry of Works and Transport has deployed an ambulance boat on Lake Victoria to respond to emergencies in the water and islands. This serves to improve navigation safety and security on water. Additionally, the Ministry's Maritime Department has signed memorandum of understandings with UPDF, Uganda Police and Uganda Scouts Association to collaborate in maritime affairs of provision of maritime security across the water bodies in the country. In other news, police have revoked licenses of 39 private security companies for failing to meet the required standards. This was contained in an order by the Inspector General of Police, John Martins Okoth Ochola, to all divisional, district and regional police commanders, as well as all units in the police. The development comes on the backdrop of rising cases of gun violence in different parts of the country. The IGP consequently directed the Private Security and Firearms Department of Police to withdraw the firearms owned by these private security companies with immediate effect. And in more news, Uganda People's Defence Forces has today returned the body of Private Wilson Sabiti to his family for burial after 3 weeks of waiting. The body was this morning handed over to the family in Mubali Village, Kijura Town Council in Kabarole District. The late Sabiti shot dead State Minister for Labour, retired Colonel Charles Engola, on May 2nd before taking his own life. Police spokesperson Fred Enanga yesterday, while addressing journalists at the weekly joint security briefing at the police headquarters in Naguru, noted that police has detained 2 people in connection with the alleged trafficking of 25 children in 2 different incidents in the districts of Wakiso and Shema. On 19th May, Criminal Investigations Directorate's Anti-Human Trafficking Department, in coordination with the Territorial Police in Bulenga, arrested Paul Alicia of Nakuwade Village in Wakiso District for suspected child trafficking. Paul picked 13 minors aged 8 to 17 from various places after promising to get them school bursaries at various schools and harbored them in his home. And in a separate development, on May 15th, the territorial police in Greater Masaka, Bushenyi and Shema arrested a taxi driver, Moses Byarhanga, while transporting 12 children aged between 2 and 12 under suspicious circumstances. Upon arrest, Byarhanga claimed he was taking the children for a prayer crusade at Bugongi Cell in Shema district, yet investigations show he had just picked them from the crusade for a joyride without the knowledge and permission of their parents. He was arrested and the taxi registration number UAU 647M was impounded. And in our sports news, Uganda has been selected by the International Cricket Council to host the final round of the ICC Women's T20 World Cup qualifiers for the African region. The CEO of the Uganda Cricket Association, Alan Mugume, confirmed the news, stating that the event will take place at the Lugogo Cricket Oval in Kampala from December 7th to 18th, 2023. The participating teams will include Uganda, Zimbabwe, Tanzania, Rwanda, Nigeria, Namibia, and 2 other teams that will qualify from the Division 2 qualifiers in Botswana in October. In regional news, East African central banks are considering adopting a digital currency to hasten cross-border payments and reduce costs as a digital revolution sweeps across Africa's banking sector. The latest study by the African Banker magazine, in collaboration with engagement banking platform Backbase, shows that Uganda, Tanzania, Kenya and Rwanda are part of a growing list of African central banks focused on implementing a central bank digital currency, which will be intended to serve as legal tender. According to the African Digital Banking Report released this week, Uganda, Kenya, Tanzania, Rwanda, Madagascar, Zimbabwe, Eswatini, Namibia and Zambia are still conducting research on the operation of the digital currency, while South Africa and Ghana are piloting the concept. Foreign Affairs and East African Cooperation Minister Dr. Stergomena Tax said that Tanzania is designing a special system to identify Tanzanians in diaspora. The plan seeks to boost the involvement of the diaspora in the country's economic undertakings ahead of their being recognized under a special status. Unlike its regional peers, Uganda and Kenya, Tanzania does not recognize dual citizenship, but the government has maintained that it was willing to offer a special status to Tanzanians in the diaspora. And in our last story, Nigeria on Monday commissioned the Dangote oil refinery, which will be Africa's biggest oil refinery. The $19 billion refinery, owned by Africa's richest man, Aliko Dangote, is intended to tackle the chronic fuel shortages in the country. Outgoing President Muhammadu Buhari commissioned the 650,000 barrels per day capacity refinery at the Lekki Free Trade Zone area of Lagos, where he termed it as a game changer for the Nigerian people. Nigeria's existing refineries have been completely shut down for over 3 years owing to oil theft, pipeline vandalism, and structural neglect. That has been the news at 9 p.m. Thank you for listening.